Hey, it's the old man here. Got the good furniture. Got some straw, fresh straw for the lady, and there's the girl. Can you see her? Yeah. She's got fresh water, so everyone's happy. So it's story time. 100 plus. We were in the hole for 100 days. I was. Living through history, big time. They went to phase 2 or stage 2 2 weeks ago and opened up the taverns and opened up some restaurants and stuff, and the numbers went up a little bit, and now they're kind of slowed down, but it's still bad. I mean, I haven't watched the news in 3 months. I read the headlines on YouTube, and just to get an idea of what's going on. I guess Florida had record cases in one day. It's a bad deal. So let's just sow our cares to the wind and have a good story instead. A story about mentoring and mentors in my life. Randy's dad was a mentor to me, and that Greasy Sid guy I've talked about. And my high school shop teacher, Fred Ronhart, I tried to get a hold of him a few years ago, but apparently he had passed away, because I really wanted to thank him for all that, what he did for me. He was really cool. All through high school, I never had study hall because I kept getting in trouble. Very talkative, I suppose. And ended up working with the janitor was one of the jobs I did. Every Friday they had an incinerator. My job was to go out and just burn boxes. I'm sure they don't use it now, but that was the routine. And learned a lot from that guy. But Fred, the shop teacher, I had him 11th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. My senior year, my first semester, I had 2 shop classes back to back, and the second semester, I had 3 shop classes back to back. So for a guy who likes to do stuff like that, I loved it. It was cool. And I think within a month or so of being in 12th grade, Fred came to me and he said, I want you to be a roving repairman on the school grounds. I go, yeah, I could do that. And he goes, you can pick a helper for each class. And my last job with the state for 18 years was a general repair. So that was my getting my feet wet as far as being a maintenance man, a senior in high school. And the first job he wanted us to do was the Universal Gym, which was like a big steel box, and in the corners were 3 pipes, square pipes, that had a pipe going into it, a 3-way system to hold it together, and one of them had cracked and broke. And we had to, the very first thing, we had to draw it on, I took technical drawing, was part of it, class, and it was all with pencil and rulers and stuff. Yeah, we could have never comprehended what's going on now with computers and stuff. So yeah, the first job, go out, take measurements, draw a detailed plan of what we're going to do, 3-dimensional, and then take it to Fred, and he would say either yay or nay, or maybe make adjustments. And that was tedious work, because we had to cut it and weld it and then grind it so it would all fit. So it was a big deal. Hi, lady. Come here. Are you okay? She's happy. She likes the sun. She got clean water. Got a wet face right now. Kind of dirty, too. Yeah, and she went through her molting thing, pulling her feathers out and stuff. I know it. I'm talking about you. Yes, I am. But yeah, she's a lot better now. So yeah, we had to draw the pictures, take it to Fred, have him okay it, cut them, weld them, grind them, get them all to fit, and then bolt it all up. And he said, well, as long as you did this one, this corner over here is starting to crack, so I think we tried to weld it, but it didn't hold, so we had to make another one. And that was fun. Did a lot of oddball jobs for him. And the big job we did that took months to do, our school, Tyee High School, all the buildings were circular. And from the center of that building were big beams that were probably, I don't know, 5 inches by 14 or something, big things that held the roof in place. And in the library, under those were bookshelves, and they were looking back pretty flimsy. And so Fred said, I want you to take steel straps and wrap it around the top of the bookshelf and bolt it to the beams. Okay. I actually went there within the last year, stopped at the high school, and told what I wanted to do. I went to the gym to see if, or not the gym, the library, to see if they were still there, but everything had changed, but I could see the holes we drilled, and they had filled it in with something and painted over it. And they had an armed King County sheriff that was there every day. Boy, how things have changed. Ay, ay, ay. So, yeah, Fred says, make these straps, and we made them out of, I think, maybe 3.5 inch by 1/4 inch steel. We had to heat them up and bend them. A couple of them had a little bit of tweak to it. You had to twist them sideways and stuff to make it fit good. But it was the same deal. We had to make a drawing and take it to Fred, and he would look it all over. He was cool. He was a big, tall guy, quiet man, I guess you could say. He wasn't really loud at all. And he was cool. He taught me a lot about patience, I suppose, and detail, all that stuff. So, yeah, we built those straps, and we had to make probably 20 of them. And I've always said it before, I wish I could have done the first 4 over again, because by the time we got into the program, we knew how to do it pretty well, and the first 4 looked kind of ratty compared to the rest of them, because you had to, make some compound angles, I suppose, and smooth them all down, paint them really good, and it all takes time when you got, I think the classes might have been 45 minutes, and the way we did it, we'd go to class and we'd tell Fred where we were going. Well, the first place we'd go out behind the gym and have a cigarette, and then go to the job site and take measurements or whatever it is, and then go back to the gym and hang out, and then go to the class and sign out. And he never said boo. The one thing about being a mentor, you have to trust who you're mentoring. And Fred gave me trust when I deserved nothing. I look back, troubled youth. I didn't have any kind of a moral compass at all. But Fred trusted me, and even though I abused it by going out and smoking cigarettes and stuff out behind the gym, he was okay with it. He, like he said, pick out a helper, and each class I had a different helper, and that was the routine. Yeah, when I worked with the convicts, I suppose it would be considered mentoring, and I gave them trust as Fred gave it to me, even though I didn't know them from Adam, but it was like, um, I think that's an important thing, because, yeah, Fred was never sneaking around checking up on us and stuff. He was just, he had other kids in the class too, and he expected me to be responsible, and I was, within reason. And yeah, he was fun. In I think 10th grade, I made a mini bike, and he was right there, giving me pointers. Um, he never said to wear a helmet. Nobody wore helmets back then, and I dumped it a couple times. I got a busted finger that's not straight because of that. Never said it. Yeah, he was a good deal. And like I say, other jobs, we did painting, we did some cleanup. Yeah, but the big jobs were that universal gym and those straps in the library. I've told people, like I say, I wish I could have done the first 4 over. It's like when we put a shake roof on our house in Buckley. I wish I could have done the first quarter over again, because by the time I get into it, I knew a lot more than I did when I started. I mean, it worked, it didn't leak, but it was still, yeah, wish I could have done some of the first parts over again, but with a shake roof, you can't do that. So it all worked out. And I got notes over here. Yeah, I think I about covered it. Yeah, trust. I think that's so important. I mean, we can all be mentors, whether it's just showing a kid how to tie a shoe or how to paint something. I mean, I've been mentoring people, and people have mentored me my whole life, and I still am. I mean, it's a good thing to do that, to take the time to show somebody something, whether it's your grandson or kids or the neighbor kid or convict labor. They all wanted to learn stuff, and I was more than willing to teach them. And like I say, gave them trust, probably because of what Fred trusted me. Yeah, I got a couple others I'll talk about, not today maybe. Randy's dad, Jim, was cool, and Greasy Sid. And both of them gave me trust when I probably hadn't deserved it. I hadn't earned it at all. But I think when people give you trust, it makes you want to do good. And I did. I still got one more story about Space City. I'm saving the best for last. I think the tapes. See, I need to sit down and organize those. One of them is coyotes at night, and they sound so cool. Just kind of haunting, maybe, sounded. But I got it, and I'll get them up there. So everybody stay safe. It ain't over yet. We've lived through a huge thing in history, and I'm sure there's more to come, but I'm good. I'm not sick. Take care. Yeah. And thanks for watching all the way to the end. You take care. And thank you for the thumbs up.